Testing. Hello, hello. Because they're checking the live or Zoom. Oh, testing. Welcome back. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. We hope a few more people will join us shortly. We're going to have an interesting session by the director of KIKX. People were trying to figure out what the acronym means in the morning. KFUPM Institute for Knowledge Exchange, yeah? Okay. Yeah, there used to be a tool called KIK2. It was a design automation tool. And in those days, they would put all the tools in a folder and have a README. But instead of README, they named that file as KickMe. So, Dr. Fahad, I don't know you too well. I know you are from mechanical engineering and you have a PhD. There may be a couple of things you may want to tell the audience about yourself before you start, and you have a good 30 minutes to make it. Okay, bye.
Everyone hear me? Okay. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. So my name is Fahd al-Zahrani. I'm a graduate from KFUPM and from the mechanical engineering department. I joined KFUPM as a faculty after the bachelor's, and I did also my master's, and then went to University of Michigan in the US to get the PhD in the field of automobile engineering. Maybe I'll use this one because I'm hearing my voice. Is it better? Yeah, I think. So I'm actually doing a lot of research in combustion, and recently also utilizing AI or artificial intelligence in the energy field. When there's a lot of data basically in combustion or automobile or internal combustion engines. So what we're trying to do is basically utilize all of these data in order to come up with predictive models to enhance operation or predict emissions. So I hope this is a little bit scientific background about me. So I was appointed as actually a director, and I'm very thankful for Dr. Ali for the trust he put in me for this position. I wanted actually to ask you, who knew about KICS? But maybe Dr. Ali already. Anyone knew about KICS before? 1, 2? Okay. It's a good thing, by the way. Okay. So KICS stands for KFUPM Institute for Knowledge Exchange. And to give you just a little bit of background of why KICS was established, we can see here that I'm just showing a historical graph for the, let's think about it broadly now, that events or scientific events supported by KICS. We'll talk about what type of supporting later on. But so at KFUPM, academic departments or research centers, they used to do a lot of these scientific events. As researchers, you're not working alone. So, you know, people, you know, you collaborate with industry, with organizations, institutions. So academic department used to organize these scientific events independently. So if any department who wants to organize an event, he would basically need to figure out how to get support, logistics, technical, maybe, I don't know, food, venue preparation. So it was strategically needed that to have a central unit that can take care of all of these non-scientific parts and let the department and research center basically focuses on its core business, which is basically the science. So KICS started actually with a direction from our president during the pandemic, and it started as an initiative. And a lot of people I know that contributed actually to this initiative, including the Dean of Research on Oversight and Coordination, Dr. Abdel Sultan, also Dr. Zain Yamani, Dr. Abdelaziz Al-Aswad. Those people are actually contributed to this initiative and the establishment of this initiative. It was during the pandemic, so most of the events managed were actually virtual, or 100%, you can see here. Over time, you can see that this continued for the, so this basically the academic year 2001-2002 is basically 2 years or 3 years before. So you can see it's 100% were organized virtual events. Moving a little bit forward, the academic year, not the past academic year, the one before that, we had, the first semester had 100% virtual events, but you can see that at that time, people started coming back to physical or in person. The vaccine came along and people started, you know, interacting more. Back to school was physical. So you can see there is a 7% increase in physical events during that time. The past academic year, okay, was actually a turnover or a turn around for KICS. where it was established as a center under the research and innovation sector, the VPRI, as a center for knowledge exchange. And this actually contributed a lot to institutionalization of KIKX, where guidelines, workflows are basically clear, and people should know what KIKX is actually doing. And this is one of the objectives we are here today, is to show you this sort of institutionalization and what we are doing to support your scientific events. You can see that the first semester, actually, when we started, we had more now physical events coming. So you can imagine you're starting with virtual, you're very comfortable with virtual, just a link and send it over. But now we're talking about physical events. So there was a lot of work had to be done in order to figure out all of these coordinations. We communicated with a lot of admin departments, all of them, mostly, with KFUPM to understand what they are doing. Because part of, the coordination is that should we do something someone else is already doing, or should we collaborate with them instead of, doing it ourselves? So we had to do all of this. This was part of our homework in the past academic year. And alhamdulillah, we saw good outcome or achievement in the second semester, where we were able, alhamdulillah, to organize or support 72% of physical events. With the total number, we will see it in a few minutes, that the total number even increased more than the previous semester. So these are some highlights, again, for the past academic year. We can see that we received more than 170 applications to request support for scientific events. We organized more than 140 of them. Of course, some had cancellations, what's on. And we had also more than 8,000 attendees with an attendance rate of around 83%. So part of also the, all of this is part of actually the transformation that we're trying to do. And part of this transformation is tracking exactly numbers. So I wish I could tell you what was it the year before that, but I cannot tell you. So, these numbers, and you can see overall improvement, alhamdulillah, in many of other KPIs that we have indicated in terms of total number of events, departments supported, international speakers, national speakers. We can see overall increase in percentage of these KPIs. And you can see the virtual events, as I mentioned, is actually dropping down. And I'm not going to be surprised if it's going to be within 2% to 5% in the coming year or coming few years. This also highlights the department that we supported. It is worth mentioning that it does not mean the other department did not host or organize events. We're just highlighting that these are the departments that seeked our support to organize and give them logistic support, technical support. And we'll talk about that. So you can see also here, the first semester, we served around 37% of the departments. Here, we're talking about academic department and research centers altogether. And then in the second semester, alhamdulillah, we saw an increase in the percentage of departments that seeked our help. And truthfully, to tell the truth, some of them were not happy the first semester. But alhamdulillah, when they saw the value, when they saw the organized work and the establishment of these clear procedures, and they tried us once again, yani, they were able, alhamdulillah, they trusted us more, and then they seeked our help for the next times. I warn you, this will go to the president. Okay, so here, this shows the details of the events actually organized by all of the departments. You can see we are listing here the academic department as well as the research centers. We were able to organize, alhamdulillah, 13 big events ranging from forums, symposia, workshops, and we had one conference last year. So this is in terms of overall, in addition, of course, to the other small events that we helped supported. Yes, any questions? Yeah, please go ahead. By the way, if you have any questions, you can't stop me. So people who approached us or departments who approached us, we included them here. So some department, as I mentioned, they did not approach us, so I'm not showing these numbers. But so I don't have the data for the whole KFUPM. I'm just having the data for what we supported. Yeah. Well, maybe, I don't know. I have to check. Huh? Okay. Yeah. So more numbers, yes. Okay, so we'll talk about that later. But here you can see that we categorize it into two main categories. Okay, the first category is the virtual events, or we call it small events. And small events consist of two parts: virtual and seminars. So seminars like 1 hour, one speaker, that's it, right? But then we have in-person big events that includes forums, workshops, symposia, conference. So I wouldn't call a big event, even if I have a virtual event with 100 speakers, I would call it still a small event because it does not require that much effort compared to physical events. Does that answer your question? Yeah, so the difference is this is first semester. Oh, okay, sorry, we are missing. By the way, I would like to give credits for the presentation. Yeah, here, you see? I wanted to say that I would like to give the credit to my fabulous team for putting out this presentation. Without them, this could not have been done. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. This was very important for me. So this is the detailed statistics of last year. This is the plan we're planning to have, inshallah, for the coming academic year, okay? So the plan here is that we are targeting around 15 big events, ranging from workshops up to conferences with call for papers, of course. So we have around now 9 planned big events. I don't know why most of them are conferences, and people now they want to do more conferences. But please, we have slots for maybe six or 7 more. So I would encourage you to apply early in order to put you in our plan for the organization. No conferences. Okay. All right. So based on this past experience or the experience in the past year, we face a lot of challenges. And one of the main challenges, the question is, what do you do? Why do we come to KIKX, right? I'm pretty sure you're wondering if you'll come to us, what should we do? We're still figuring it out, but okay, so based on our experience and in alignment with the research and innovation sector, because the innovation sector, as Dr. Ali mentioned, would like to maximize the feasibility of our research. So we had to be aligned also. We had to come up with a strategy that is also aligned with research and innovation sector. So we had to come up with, or we came up with a vision, mission, and strategic goals for KIKX. And again, I will emphasize what Dr. Ali mentioned, that this is still a transformation, so this could change later on. But here we say that the vision of KIKX, or KFUPM Institute for Knowledge Exchange, is to make KFUPM a global hub for the exchange, transfer, and development of knowledge by connecting the scientific community and the industry locally and globally through scientific events. Okay, so this is our vision. Our mission is actually to enable the scientific community and the industry to partner on industry partners to broadly disseminate knowledge and ensure its outreach by providing the needed technical and logistical support. So we are committed to provide any type of support related to making your event successful. That is, of course, we're also guiding the scientific part, by the way. So we can guide you with how to form your scientific committee, how to, coordinate with other committees. So we provide all of these logistical and technical support. These are the strategic goals. The first goal is to centralize and administer the management and organization of scientific events within KFUPM, and maybe in the future actually outside KFUPM, because based on our benchmark, we saw some actually academic institutions with similar services that they actually provided event organization outside the campus of the university. So this is something we can definitely do in the future, inshallah. I'd like also to highlight that one of the strategic goals is to highlight the advanced research capabilities, as I mentioned, and this is in alignment with the strategy of the research and innovation sector. We would like also to attract more international distinguished researchers to KFUPM to exchange knowledge and also to transfer the knowledge, of course, two-way. And these are the rest of, you can look at these rest of goals, but as you can see that all of them serve basically towards the maximizing the feasibility of KFUPM as a research intensive initiative. So what do we do? Okay, that's the golden question. And this is the answer to this question. So we have three main functions, I would say, under KIKX. The first function is related to the management and coordination, where we try to centralize, or what we do is to centralize the event management process by providing standards, mechanisms, guidelines to organize scientific events. This will save a lot of time for the department or research center that would like to basically host any event within KFUPM. The second important function is also to outreach and to partner up with international or local organizations for different purposes related to scientific events. So when we talk about, for example, partnering up with scientific associations to host some impactful global conferences in KFUPM, this is something we are trying to do right now, as well as having financial support for these events, because this is one of the main challenges we are seeing now is who's gonna cover the cost of these events, right? So part of our strategy is actually bring sponsors. We work hard to bring sponsors in order to support these scientific events. So we are building actually right now a sponsorship program to do that. And the other function, or last function, is marketing, was basically disseminating this scientific knowledge and increasing the visibility of these events locally and as well as globally. So each of these functions, I'd like to highlight that, have a certain strategy. So I will go through each one very quickly, hopefully, and then I'll talk about some of the guidelines we have for you and some application deadlines. So under the management and coordination, so our management and coordination is based on a theory, is extracted from a theory of leadership management. And you can see the reference down here. It's related to the 5 C's of event management. It's one of the theories in leader management, which basically takes the procedure from initiation or deals with the event management as from the initiation of the idea to the close out or execution or post events, okay? So we call it 5C: concept, getting the initial details of the objectives, planning for the event, coordination, coordinate all the logistics with all service departments, control the event, so during the event itself, control the task and deadlines, manage the due dates of the event, and then the execution of the events by checking in people and making sure everything goes smoothly during the event, and then the closeout, which is after the event, basically by maybe surveying, getting feedback from attendees, and evaluating the event. For the second unit or the second function, the strategy is basically, as I mentioned, is we try to connect, okay, with expertise in the field, maybe bring them to KFUPM to exchange knowledge. The second part of it is making partnerships, and this is a two-way partnership, meaning that some externals actually can seek our support to organize events in KFUPM, and we have had that with Saudi Aramco. They approached us and we organized the event for them, and we had them to pay, so we made them pay. Okay, so that was good news. That was the first time to do that. And then also what we can do is actually we can partner up with popular organizations in the world that already implement conducting scientific events or organizing scientific events. For example, this December we have an event with the AAA organization, American Accounting Association. The KFUPM Business School signed an agreement or memorandum of understanding with this organization. This organization used to host annual conference since 1926, okay? And this is the first time they will host it in Saudi, outside US, in KFUPM, through a partnership, okay? So this is something we would like to seek more, to bring more people, build more partnership and more strategic partnerships for event management. And the last one is what I mentioned regarding sponsorship. You can see that part of our strategy is to partner up with companies and organizations to provide financial and strategic support for KFUPM scientific events. The objective of the marketing or the strategy of the marketing is basically to raise awareness about these events locally and globally, to have communication with maybe public, with the attendees, to evaluate or to understand how they look at us, what their perspective. Also to utilize our state-of-the-art website. We are trying to develop, we are in the process of developing a state-of-the-art website that will be used to actually, for all of this management and coordination I have shown, it will be done through electronically, inshallah. We also plan to use data and AI. We're already using some of it now, some of the AI tools to help us with maybe looking at numbers or guide our actions for future or even during the management and coordination. So this is the last point I wanted to show here today is that I urge you to, as I mentioned, if you have any events, you are welcome to seek our help and support. The guideline is actually, the application deadline is open throughout the year. It depends on the event date. So if you're talking about big events, we have two types of big events. We call it A and B. A is basically conferences with call for papers, and it requires a lot more coordination and management. So the application deadline we have is 15 months before the event date. That's when you should tell us or let us know about your event or apply for support. And then in terms of other big events, in terms of forums, workshops, symposium, or similar events, we have 12 months. It's much better to come early, around 12 months before. And the plan we're going to have, inshallah, is that we're going to fill this next academic year and mostly actually maybe even the year after. And we'll try to get approval for all these calendars at once. Okay. So, and then for small events, it's better to come at least 1 month. We used to work a lot in the last minute, but we want to focus on bringing value to the organizers. So it's much better to apply early. So time is key here. So this is just a guideline on our approval process. So if you apply to us, we'll get the request from you. Depending on the event type, it can go, and of course the budget, because part of the event organization is the budget estimation. So the first step is we estimate the budget, and depending on the procedure in KFUPM or the bylaws, we go through different processes. And this is just an example of these processes. For small events, KIKX director can directly approve the events and we can start organizing. For big events, we probably need to seek the approval from the vice president for research and innovation. And for events more than 100,000 riyals, we need to seek approval from the president. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope I wasn't boring. So Thank you. I appreciate it.
We can take a couple, yeah. Too large.
I'm telling you to do it before that then. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will answer that. It's fine. Mm.
Luckily, we got request only one speaker for a ticket, and we don't know how to pay. We ended up paying it from the it's not clear who should pay or what's about.
You are asking a critical question, which we are discussing because we have already plan suggested to the VP and still under approval. Yeah. Did you come to us, by the way? Okay. Which center are you, by the way? Okay. So I 100%. This is all part of the challenges we have faced actually in the past year, and part of it, the financial issue by itself needs clarification. But once we approve or like finalize this issue, we will approve all this. We will share all of these procedures with you, inshallah. But when it comes to the deadline, when you say it's not realistic for you, but it's very much realistic for us, because imagine we have a lot of big events in a year, and we need to plan everyone, and there's a lot of things that needs to be coordinated and managed. If you don't think much ahead of time, even as an idea, come to me with an idea, but tell me I need it in this time, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe the experience with you is different. If someone else has another experience, maybe it's better they speak. So maybe
for the deadline, I do believe this is, you need to rethink about it. A seminar for 1 month is too much. If I need to organize a seminar, take me 2 weeks. 1 week to organize, do whatever, and 1 week to announce. So please do if you want us to come. This is one. The other thing which I see it real big challenge for you, an obstacle, and you need to think about it. It's excellent to have KIKX as one umbrella for the whole university, bring something, but for branding, I think, يعني اسمح لي بكون critical. You failed at this. I mean, not you, but over 2 years. 2 issues that are a matter. First is the branding for the KIKX. You know, most of these events that were organized by departments became KIKX branding or whatsoever. So my suggestion, it's easy to do this. Let's put the name of KIKX somewhere, but when it's come to the department events or highlight, even it will help for people attending. If there is something organized by the business school, for example, and the business school is very highlighted and KIKX is somewhere there, because I do believe that all events and KFUPM should go through this. But if you think of the branding, because most of the department don't come to you. Why? Because they're doing all the job. And at the end of the day, you're taking it in, you're putting your name and you say it's your event. It's not your event, it's their event. So my suggestion, and I'm glad that the vice president here, is to rethink of this. And whenever you make advertisement, make sure that the department is visible there. This is number 1. Number 2, the recording. You know, now if I go to your website, most of the event there is 2022. I don't see, I mean, yeah, huh? Okay, so maybe it's the direction to get to it, because this is the problem of our previous year efforts. We made so much efforts and it's not there, it's not visible. And if you can keep track of them, I saw that you have an application. I tried to search for that application, it does not exist. I hope there will be an application. I hope there will be a clear website where the event is directly there. So please, first of all, think of the timing and think of the branding. And I believe it will be very successful because we need it.
There's a reason I said people were mad at us at the beginning, remember?
I just want to make one comment, because it's been 1 year. I'm organizing several physical events and also a conference with KIKX, and my experience is wonderful. One of the things which I like is we think and work collaboratively, and if there is an issue, we address it. We organize an event and there were refreshment and everything. And I think Dr. Ali was also part of it. And it was just a simple communication we did. So maybe something was lost in the communication. But one of the things I'm really thankful for KIKX, because they are helping me a lot with the conference. Otherwise, it's way too difficult.
I'm gonna be clear. This was one of the main challenges. What do KIKX provide, right? So and I've seen this, you know, the department spend an effort and then suddenly I come in the middle, you see. But it's a transformation, and I'm gonna emphasize that this is transformation. And what we have established here is that you come to us with an idea, do not think about anything else except your science part. That's it. That's our all objective. And inshallah, it will improve.
Half a question. Less than 10 words, I'll give it to you.
So I just take one.
We have to stop up.
Yeah, thanks again for your efforts and help and your team. I had 3 points, so I just choose one. Regarding the food services, anybody from the food services here? I think we need to rethink. If you have an event at 1, tell them it's 10 or 11. That's always the case. And the quality of the food. So if there is some contract that you can make, that would help. Food should be a pleasure, not survival mode.
Experience with the food department, even in the past conference, was really nice. And I don't know what happened.
Can I just say something? Fine. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'd like really to thank Dr. Fahad, I think, for the excellent work that he did for KIKX. Remember that he just started maybe in September 2022. And at that time, we had only 1 year, and it was pandemic. We were working at that time on maybe a survival mode. In that year, we were accepting anything. Even when Dr. Al-Maheni took over later, we still entertained many requests very quickly. But we think now with the Dr. Fahad is taking over that we need really to institutionalize our work at KIKX. We are not competitors to you. We are helping you. This is your institute at the end. This is our message. It's not branding, and then always we are mentioning that okay, KIKX is there, but definitely the department should be there. We are not denying that. We are not competitors in that. It's our center at the end. It's our institute. We need to work together towards that. He did not mention, maybe Dr. Fahad, some of the latest things that we are trying to, inshallah, approve for him from his last year experience and the challenges that we face. And there is, by the way, money involved. You can get some, I mean, we will relieve you from certain things, food, we will bring also those speakers from outside, tickets, other things. Each department and center has a certain budget, whether it is a small event or a big event. So you can benefit from that. These are the services that we think invites you to go to KIKX. And as you mentioned that, why I would go to KIKX? I can maybe organize my own event, especially maybe the small ones. But it's not, as I mentioned, there are some services, inshallah, you will see the benefits of it. Plus also, we need really to disseminate more the information and whatever we are doing at the university. It is part of our, I think, publicity, and we should really do that as much as we can. Inshallah, you'll hear better news. In terms of planning, we need wallah to plan, Dr. Ayman. Maybe it's a little bit in the high side, but it's really, especially conferences, it really takes a lot of time, preparation, effort. We need also, although, by the way, we have certain budget for the conferences, but we always prefer to find sponsors as much as we can. So that's why really to approach the sponsor ahead of time. We need to package the conference in a nice way with, I don't know, we have the golden and the other things, and we should give it to the sponsor ahead of time. The website should be up there maybe a year before the conference, so we can put the sponsor name. Otherwise, why he will pay for us? These are hopefully our plans, and we want you all to plan ahead. However, I think we are still entertaining, even sometimes a little bit last minute. If there is really, we see a value or so. For example, the AAA came really late. Even we were discussing, should we really go ahead and do it or not, because it is happening in what, December or November? And we just got it, got the request. April, maybe a month ago. So this is part of the issue, and they came in the last minute. They want our help and support, and the department, they think that, oh, we will they want to get everything but help us with the bad things. This is KIKX, do it, do the logistic, arrange this for me, arrange. I will just sit and you do everything. No, we should really work together. My message is really, we created this center or institute for you to help the centers, the department, to disseminate information. Inshallah, you will hear more, but since he did not mention about the new things that we are, inshallah, going to announce, because it is not approved yet, but they will announce what even the budget for each one, what are the benefits. Although we are doing it now, but it's not in a formal way. They just come to me and I approve it usually, directly. But stay tuned. Inshallah, we'll find many benefits. And I urge all of you to really apply the numbers for this year. Always we need a plan. So that's why we put the plan for this coming year, 2023, 2024. We hope that we filled all our calendar. Even with just, what do you call it, initial dates, whatever you think of it, it's fine. You can change later, no problem. But at least let's plan for that. And if there is any change here to change for any difficulty, we are, of course, flexible in that. I hope, I explained a little bit, few things here and there. Thank you.
Thank you all. We have 10 minutes before the next presentation, so we can take a short coffee break, because there'll be no more breaks after that. If you can come back here by 1:58, 1:59, we can start on time.